We're talking about how to approach people in public, how to be eager but not too eager, how to see if there's an interest with somebody else, how to perceive red flags accurately. I mean, this is incredibly complex. How the fuck are we supposed to deal with this? Hey, Lovebirds. Welcome to another edition of Free Love Advice. Today we are exploring the nightmare that is early stage dating, which can be really hard and confusing for a lot of people, including myself. It's just really hard to know what to do and how to act. And we are going to explore how to pursue people, but not too much. How to talk to strangers, how to date when you're not dating online, how to show interest but not too much. You know, these are all rules. And I like to say that I don't play games because I don't know the rules, but that's not entirely true. I do know some of the rules. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about fucking dating and how hard and messy and challenging and fun and exciting and sweet it can be. There's that whole concept of dialectics coming back up. This and that. You might notice that I cut out a part of this conversation because I'm not quite ready to explore what it is that we talk about, but you're smart enough to extrapolate because we make some comments about this early part of the conversation. But don't worry about that. We're going to touch on that next time. My name is Sean Galanos, and this is The Love Drive. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm still nervous, but I'm actually really excited.
Oh, good. So,
are we starting?
how can I help you?
I'm always ending up with unavailable men.
Oh, okay. This is why I'm here.
Yeah, definitely. There is a trend in my life that they are always unavailable, but I do not take those red flags right off the bat. Like right in the beginning, I kind of like, oh, well, maybe he'll change. Maybe, oh, I'll get over it. It's not that big of a deal. And then it's that big of a deal in the end.
It's like emotional unavailability is still a bit of an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it could be exciting to know when something is just fucking wrong for you.
I think that, and I think I'm trying to prove I'm right for them.
Ooh.
And because I always put myself I have flaws, many of them. But I feel like I'm a very great partner. And I get that from a family standpoint, childhood standpoint of always being there for my friends and like just a little bit on a different level. When you're in my life, I'm going to be there for you no matter what.
What would your exes say?
My recent ex, who still now wants me back.
Oh, well, that's good. It's good for your Yelp
say
rating.
That right. Very supportive, very, very into it. He had a 5-year-old son, so it was a different relationship that way and had to be there for two people. Some would say probably I come on too strong, too fast, where I want it right away. Yeah. Or I don't let things just happen naturally. But when I do, I find out you're not really wanting to commit. I'm fun. We have great sex and I'm letting you come to me. Like it's easy for them.
Right.
So I'm never the type of person to be one of the females that are like, you don't like me? Okay, bye. I'm more like, if I want to text you, I'm going to text you. If I'm going to call you, I'm going to call you. If I want to hang out with you, I'm going to ask you. But I might not be receiving that from them
right.
when I want that.
I mean, that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
The amount of energy that somebody shows or uses to contact you or to connect with you is sort of indicative of how interested they are.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really challenging situation
Mm-hmm.
because it sounds like you really want to be in partnership and you meet people that you seemingly have a good connection with.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like you're doing most of the work.
Yes.
Because you want it.
Because I want it.
And you see yourself as a good partner.
Yeah. I think I get scared if I don't communicate often that I'll be forgotten by that person sort of thing. Just because, especially how I meet lately, if it's just been on dating sites. So for them, it could be like, met me tonight, met someone else tomorrow. And then if I don't follow up with them, then it's in their head, oh, I'm not interested. Okay.
What a nightmare.
It's just awful.
It is awful. It is awful. And there's, especially in a city this size, there's no shortage of other players.
Nope.
It just keeps going and going. It's a never ending scroll of people, faces.
Yep. And I think that's kind of where I am of how do I set myself apart to want someone to want to hang out with me? It's
now you're talking about like, how do you make yourself a more attractive, viable partner instead, and this is just what I'm hearing,
totally.
Instead of just really fully believing that you're an amazing person and that you will meet that amazing person, and that you don't have to change anything about who you are.
Right.
Unless there's like some gross, like whatever behaviors and or characteristics that are like a huge turnoff.
Right.
Barring that,
yeah,
we attract people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And I've been working on it too, of just keep doing you. You have family and friends that support who you are now, and that partner should be doing the same. I think I just get so excited in meeting that person. And because I don't date multiple people or casually, I'm stuck to that one person.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's such a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's sort of an old school way of dating, and it might take a little bit longer, but you're also more present.
Right.
Because your energies aren't like dispersed amongst other potential suitors.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's tough.
But perhaps the challenge is actually letting people pursue you instead of you pursuing them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was thinking that in my head right now of, again, that's like weird to me. I don't like being, of you go out with someone and then if I'm thinking of them, I want to tell them and let them know. Whereas if I don't, am I playing a game? Am I just waiting for them sort of thing?
Wow.
But like you said, if someone's thinking of you, wants to pursue you, then you'll get that. And if you don't, then
I mean, it's
a check-in or,
Yeah, like we said, it's indicative of where they're at. I mean, there are some people that are just terrible communicators, but for the most part, if I'm interested in somebody, I also let them know. Right. And I do my part, right? It has to be a give and take. I don't think it's playing games, but there has to be some receiving. It can't just all be giving.
Right.
And if you're giving and you're not receiving, then you need to sort of question the level of engagement that the other person is, is committed to.
Right. Yeah. I think talking through too of, I'm on that fence of how do I casually date, even in my situation now, or be the person that wants a partnership. And maybe it's opening myself up to casually dating socially, not rather than, being a little vulnerable of meeting new people and not focusing on one person and see how that meshes with me and my head. But, I don't know.
You could try to go on a date with two different people in like the same week or or like whatever your thing is. And you could even try it with this person right now. Mm-hmm. You could say, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you. I obviously, would like for this to be a little bit more serious than it is, but I understand and appreciate that that's not what you're available for. And since I am looking for a partnership, I think I would like to also maybe date somebody else while we date because I still like spending time with you.
Right. Yeah.
You could try. I mean, you like this person.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. We were just talking about maybe ending it forever.
Right.
You could now maybe try something that you've never tried before, which is date somebody that you like, but also be open to meeting somebody else.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's like not a wild concept.
No. No. I mean, it is for me. Definitely other people do it and I've seen it. Yeah, there's something, one, like, where do you find the time to even like date multiple people or try to do that? And I mean, again, it all comes back to the feeling in my gut of like, no, I just want to focus on like me and then one other person, you know?
I do know.
Yeah.
Because I've tried all the different styles. Yeah. You know, people in Europe, I live in Montreal and there's a lot of French people there from France and they don't comprehend the dating multiple people. They just date one person at a time.
Oh.
So it's a very North American thing.
So I should move there.
Yeah, move to Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't know about all of Europe, but maybe just France.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that, parlez-vous français?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, you'll pick it up.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you seem like a very smart person.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm at a point where I turned 30 this year. I have a great job. Definitely worked on myself a lot this year, like where I came from. So I know what I want, what I need, what I deserve mostly. And I have yet one relationship that hasn't just completely fucked me somehow.
Maybe you were in a different phase of your life now.
Yeah.
Where relationships will stop fucking you.
I hope so.
So do I.
That's why I want to, I want to not have that pattern anymore. And if there is something or someone that, you know, sometimes we need encouragement or courage from someone else or insight from someone else that kind of like a light bulb clicks. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I don't deserve that. I want this. We can run our own thoughts all day, but to speak us out loud also helps.
Yeah.
But sometimes I definitely think I'm trying to find it too fast. But I also, you know, but I don't know what too fast is, or if that other person does want to pursue you too, then I think that just works, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of reciprocal energy.
Right.
And if it's all one-sided, then it feels a little bit like taking advantage of or being taken advantage of.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, there's just something that I flock to unavailable men.
I mean,
or stick with it, I guess, knowing that they're unavailable.
Well, it's safe.
Right.
It's actually safe to be with unavailable people because it's not going to get too vulnerable. It's not going to get too intimate. You already know that it's not going to work. And so there's really very low pressure.
Right.
Because you're not really investing in something that might further down the line totally devastate you.
It's true.
We already know it's like, this isn't really going to go anywhere. It's going to be sad, but it's not going to be devastating. It's not going to be a heartbreak.
Right.
And that's the big risk.
Right.
Is that somebody's going to leave.
Right.
Or that the love will run out. So if you start off with unavailable people, there's no risk.
It's so weird because then I sometimes see it that's not weird. That's, yes. I'm over here like, well, yeah, but in like 3 months, like, how could he not want to be with me? And that's like the other side too.
I mean, that's just wishful thinking.
I know.
It's like...
that's my hopefulness for sure. Sometimes I'm like, no, it's not going to end. It's just, no.
That's like going to the hardware store for bread.
Yeah.
They don't sell it.
They don't.
And they're not gonna 3 months down the road. No matter how many different ways you ask for it, or if you ask for tortillas, the guy's like, oh, dude, we sell tools.
Yeah.
You know, hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
So it's all very safe, but it's not what you want.
Yeah, totally.
So now we're back to fucking flushing the dude.
Yes.
And finding someone that's more appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, it comes the question of, the online dating or being social and coming from the Midwest, I'm not from here. I have my circle of people, but I definitely don't get out as much. And just like finding that confidence of when I'm out to approach people, but
what a nightmare.
I don't know how, that's why I say I don't know how to date. I mean, there's, yeah.
It's a nightmare, but it's also really beautiful to be able to meet people in public.
Mm-hmm.
And it's challenging and it's scary, and you sort of have to like muster up all the courage that you can and sort of go for it, and also learn ways to start conversations with perfect strangers. I mean, once you got that, you got at least a little foot in the door.
Right.
And if there is some interest on the other party, then hopefully they can sort of, you guys can co-create a conversation that might lead to something.
Yep, absolutely.
But this, I mean, you talk about a city where, I mean, there's no shortage of people here.
Right.
That are in their 30s, doing cool stuff, working out, being active, being social.
Yep.
They can pull you out of your little Midwest habitat shell thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Online dating is interesting. You can get good at dating on online dating, but it doesn't give you any of the basics for how to start conversations with strangers, how to ask people if they're single, how to ask people out on dates, like all that stuff is sort of implied with online dating. You sort of imply that they're single.
Right.
So in real life, most people aren't single. It's my experience that they're not. And so, yeah, you got to muster up all the courage to even start a conversation with them. Then at some point, you have to figure out if there's a potential for you guys to go on a date.
Yeah.
And I don't ask out people that already have partners because that's really awkward.
Very awkward.
To ask somebody out and then they go like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in a relationship. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not, it gets better.
Right.
But you can also say, oh, hey, I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm just curious. Are you single?
Right.
And they could be like, I am single. And then you can go, oh, well, in that case, would you like to continue this some other time over maybe a drink?
Right.
Or some food or a walk up Bernal Hill, whatever.
Yeah.
Or they can say, actually, no, I'm not. And you go, oh, that's too bad. I was going to ask you out on a date. But, in that case, why don't you just have a great old day?
Yeah.
And then you give them a high five and you peace out.
Yeah.
Before it gets too awkward.
Yep.
But this stuff they don't teach you.
No, they don't.
And you're 30 now?
30.
Yeah. I mean, kids now, like teens, like will just grow up with social media as their only way of connecting with people.
Yep.
And so you're like on the cusp.
Yes. Yeah.
You still got people skills.
I feel like, I mean, being a bartender back home, I definitely know, but it's also created a huge like wall of I'm behind the bar. Don't fuck with me. Don't talk to me. You're drunk. I don't want you flirting with me.
Unless I want you flirting.
Unless I want you.
Then
I'll choose.
I'll give you an extra drink on the house.
Right. Exactly.
Wink.
And so coming out here, it's so much and the diversity. And I remember when I first moved out here, we went to a sports bar in the marina thinking that would be the most normal place that we'd feel like at home coming from the Midwest.
Bar none?
Yeah, the Yard. Brickyard?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Bar None. One of my favorites.
Good beer pong.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bus Stop. Bus Stop has all of my money in that jukebox.
Okay.
Yeah. But we went and we were watching a Packer game and we bought shots for these guys next to us and they didn't even take them. They looked at us like we were freaking crazy. And they were like, these are for us? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why? And I'm like, oh, God. I was like, all right, I'm over it already.
Yeah.
And so now being in the Mission, it's a little different. It's definitely more my vibe. But I've never had the courage of going up to someone and like having the confidence to do so. Or like you said, how do you start a conversation? And online dating is you have a text conversation and then you get it all out of the way. And then you see them and you're like, I feel like I already know you.
Yeah.
What do we talk about?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be being vulnerable again.
Not too vulnerable.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what people used to do all the time.
I know. I feel like I'm this person. I was like, do you get outside at all? Like, do you know what's going on out there? People are doing this every day.
They really are. Some people are.
Yeah.
And you'll meet people that aren't tethered to their phone.
Yeah.
And that are willing to chat with you.
Yeah.
You just have to sort of get good at starting conversations with strangers.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my number one line.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is the thing. My listeners are probably tired of hearing it, but I'll give it to you. What's exciting in your world? That's it. Try it. Try it with like everybody.
Yeah.
But don't even ask people how they're doing.
Just be like, hey, what's exciting in your world?
Yeah. You'll forget. You'll ask them how they're doing and they'll be like, fine. And you'll be like, good.
And then a light bulb.
And then it's over. The conversation's over. And then you can go, what's exciting in your world? And they'll be like, oh. And hopefully they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And it's usually positive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually going to give you something that they're kind of like jazzed about.
Absolutely.
And then you can go like, oh, Mexico? I've been to Mexico.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Like you can just go anywhere really, right, if they're willing to play with you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then if it goes, it goes. And if it doesn't go, it's over. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Bus drivers, baristas, checkers at the grocery store. If there's enough time to have that conversation, start having it. And you'll be sort of like impressed that people are like willing to engage.
Yeah. And whether it goes somewhere or not, I always think about how do you make someone else's day, just one person. And it could be that awkward question of me asking them out at the register. I'm like, what is something exciting in your world?
Yeah. It's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
I heard it at Harbin Hot Springs and I thought it was like the lamest hippie, conscious being, heart chakra question. And I got like sort of like, who the fuck are you to ask me that? Then I realized just how powerful it is because people will open up about really positive stuff.
Right. Usually it doesn't. Yeah. We don't talk about the positive stuff usually at all.
It works wonders at the airline to get either like, the exit row seat or like things that you now have to pay for.
Right.
Man, this woman she was like, what? And I go, what's exciting in the world? She was like, I got 6 dogs. I was like, what? What are their names? And she just like starts rattling them off.
Oh my gosh.
She was so excited to talk about her dogs.
That's awesome.
But you can't just bring that shit up if there isn't an opening.
Right.
So that's a good opening.
Yeah. No, I love that.
You could challenge yourself to not Bumble date for, a month or whatever.
Right.
And you can go and start conversations with perfect strangers.
Yep. And try it out.
Here's another. You want another one?
Yeah.
For this is for parties. Do you go to parties?
No. Will it work in a bar?
Yeah, it'll work
like
in a bar.
Big crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, any crowd actually. Oh, hey, I haven't met you yet. Oh
my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get through that without thinking of this right now.
Yeah.
And be like, I'll be right back.
Oh, hey, I haven't met you yet. I'm Sean.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, hey, I'm Sarah.
Yeah.
And because that sort of denotes that I'm here to meet people. And it's normal for me to introduce myself to people. And I'm now meeting you.
Right.
Let's talk.
Yeah. I like that one too. Yeah.
And then you can be like, if it doesn't work out, you go like, okay, I'm going to go meet more people now. And then you leave.
And then leave.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I feel like, it wasn't like, my situation's not like juicy, anything like, but it's definitely, for me to even be this far and start dating again and kind of doing what I don't do this year has been like huge for me. But I always try to give it like 100%. And so I go a little too far sometimes where I'm like, dang it, Holly, you knew this from the start.
Yeah.
So you should have, now you're in another predicament of like, how do you have this conversation? But
wait, which conversation?
Well, with the current.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. Because there were red flags that you sort of.
Yeah. I think I just push it a little bit too much, and push it to be there. And that's what I feel like I've done in actually like a lot of relationships. If I just, nope, we're good. Yeah, we're dating. What is he? I've never met him.
Oh, we're so dating?
Yeah. we're so dating. We're very serious.
This sounds like an opportunity for you to sort of take a step back from people that you're dating and let them take a step forward. And if they don't, it's it's hard to handle.
Yeah. I've never felt someone truly pursue me. So I'm looking for that.
Well, that's because I don't know how to say this, but like men, you date men?
Men. Mm-hmm.
Generally nowadays don't know how to pursue women. Mm-hmm. And also I understand it's now like dangerous to pursue women.
Oh, right.
So I think there's like this weird thing happening where men are so terrified. Some men, other men don't give a fuck.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But some men who are now extra sensitive about approaching women because they really don't want to be perceived as a predator or creepy in any way.
Absolutely. No, I get that. Definitely for in person. It's even more of if I start a conversation and ask like, hey, how was the rest of your weekend? Then you just tell me about your weekend and there's no follow-up of how was yours? Like, did you have fun? Did you do anything exciting? It's like, okay. So you're not interested.
Yeah.
So
those are people that aren't interested.
Yeah.
If they don't ask an and you question.
Yeah.
I mean, of course there's some drop off every now and then. We can't just say and you all the time.
Right.
It's got to end somewhere and then it's got to get picked back up.
Right.
There has to be some back and forth.
Yeah.
If there's no back and forth,
it's nothing.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Less benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounds like you have to be the pursuer at the very beginning with people in person. And then if there is some sort of connection there, sort of step back a little bit.
Yeah.
In a way that doesn't feel like a game.
Right. And yeah, I can't look at it as that.
This is very complex. You don't think it's juicy, but I think it's pretty juicy.
Yeah.
Because it's very nuanced. What we're talking about. We're talking about how to approach people in public. We're talking about how to be eager but not too eager. How to see if there's an interest with somebody else. How to perceive red flags accurately. I mean, this is incredibly complex. How the fuck are we supposed to deal with this?
I don't know. We're talking through it.
You just got to,
you
got to do the best you can with what you have. And we learn from past experience. I'm not going to call them mistakes because I don't really think that there are mistakes.
I don't either.
We just keep doing the shit. And then after a while we go, fuck man, that hurts or it's not working anymore.
Yep.
I got to do something else.
Yep. Yeah. Every single one, like friendships, even just growth. All I see from all of my past relationships is growth. From this too, I think, you look at certain dating in society of your friends are like, oh, he's just playing games. It's like, well, no, just take it for what you think it is and like how far you want to take it. And I need to start like just listening to myself too.
Yeah.
If I'm searching for advice, it probably means that I should probably go with my gut.
Well, advice is the thing that you already know that you don't want to do.
Yes.
You just need someone else to tell you.
Yeah.
There was a more elegant way of saying that. My friend knows exactly what it is, but I always forget. You often know what you need to do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Though it was more of, gain that confidence to do what I know, what I need to do, and then how to move forward from it and change a few things, like you just said. Try a few things, not change. Try. Yeah.
I'm always excited about the possibilities because now we're talking about trying new things. We're talking about talking to strangers that you might be attracted to.
Right.
We're also talking about talking to strangers that you're not attracted to get the practice.
That.
And then we're also talking about maybe seeing what it feels like to date one person while going on a date with somebody else.
Right.
It might be a total nightmare.
Yeah.
You might hate it.
Just stress out the whole time.
Yeah. You might, it's just all anxiety. You might feel so bad.
Yeah.
Or it might be fine. And then you realize that you actually have the capacity to date more than one person in like a sort of a surface level until more feelings are developed.
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Never tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
Yep. And just listening to those red flags or just knowing, what you need just on a basic level. If I'm not getting it, then it's, I don't want to try too hard anymore.
Just think about the hardware store.
Yeah. No bread. I'm not giving you a muffin either.
There's no bread, no
tortillas.
muffins, no tortillas at the hardware store.
I love
But
that.
if you need nuts and bolts, they got you covered.
Yep. That's awesome. No, very great takeaways. I'm gonna message you and be like, I talked to 5 strangers today.
We're gonna do a follow-up.
Yes, I love it.
Do a follow-up in a couple of months and see what's changed.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
After recording my intro, I also realized that the beginning of this episode is a little bit about dating unavailable people. And instead of re-recording the intro and adding that in, I'm just adding it in at the end because that's the kind of day I'm having. It's Canada Day, actually, and I'm at home recording this podcast and editing this podcast. And I'm totally okay with that because I love this work. I really, really love this work. And I get messages from people like on a weekly basis saying that they really, really connect with my work. And it is so incredible to hear from you. So if you want to reach out to me to say anything, feedback, comment, compliment, hate mail, whatever, Sean@thelovedrive.com. That's SHAUN. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Sort of a thank you. And if you feel like reaching out to me, do it. Don't be shy. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful week. I let that song run out all the way because I really like that song. And if you did too, I wanted you to hear it. Bye.